Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on Bitcoin. Right now we're at $5,163. We're up 0.07%. Guys, what we're going to do, we're going to dig into the upside, the downside, and a little bit of the sideways, but there's some key areas that really need to hold right now that I want to bring to your attention so you can just really set your alarm, set your alerts, and see what's going on. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday, having a good time with your family or whatnot. Sun's shining here, so it's a good day. Very excited to be here with you. And guys, if you like what we do here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate each and every one of you. So what I'm looking at here, guys, what I want to see defended the most of all, this is the most important thing right now for me, is this 30 EMA. So we're looking at this 30 EMA, and this has acted as support for us all the way back to February 7th here. And right now, guys, we're sitting right on top of it. And if I zoom in a little bit more here, so we're on the one-day chart, just so you know. Right down in here, we basically had almost like a doji or a spinning top type candle here, and now we're having another very short day candle. Almost looks like another little tiny little doji right there, but we're going to have to wait and see where it closes today, if it closes up above this yesterday's close or down below. But guys, we're wanting to be able to hold this 30-day EMA. We don't want to lose that. And traditionally in a bear market, that's going to be overhead resistance most of the time. And in a bull market, it's going to follow this uptrend here and it's going to act as support. So you saw how we caught some air right here and we pulled back onto it. So that's a really good thing, but we have to see if we hold this. If not, I would look for us to definitely come down here and test this 50 moving average at $4,599. And that's also going to coincide with this green box that I have. And the reason why I have this green box here, basically it's between 4262 and around that 4500, and this is a key area. It has the 200-day moving average, which, guys, we would want to see strong support off that. If we were to go down to the downside, big volume, strong support off that. We don't want to get back trapped below that and have to be banging on it again, because a lot of times you can just really start getting pushed down farther. So we want to pay attention that we would hold this ultimately. Also, each time here we were coming up and we were making these highs, guys. So what happened was we broke through an old resistance. We want to become new support. So we would want to see some type of consolidation around in this area. If we were to come down to this 50 or down to this 200-day moving average, find strong support, consolidate on it, and then try to make our higher high and move up here and try to test, this big overhead resistance that we're dealing with in Bitcoin right now. So, that's why I have this target. This green box is basically my target area where I would love and want to see big volume come in, buyers step in. The bulls say we're going to defend this 200-day moving average. We're going to the upside. So that's if we start closing below this 30-day EMA, which we have not yet. It's still acting as support. So we're in that tight range. But guys, we did put in those tweezer tops here, and the tweezer tops were at a resistance at $5,675, and this resistance area over here. We kind of pushed up a little bit more, and then we got rejected. And what I wanted to show you on the RSI is our price was rising, but our RSI was going down, so we were having that bear div essentially. Do you see this? So price is going up, and your RSI is going down. So what I like to do is draw a trend line on this. Right here, we'll just do a rough one there, guys, and I would like to see a break out of that. I really pay attention to trend line breaks, so that's what I'm looking at here, is that div. And then also something that we did lose here is our higher lows on the RSI. On this RSI, we've been keeping track of the higher lows here, and this has been our trend line. Sorry about that, guys. Let me pull my trend line here. So our trend line, we pulled this, and this is our higher lows we've been paying attention to right there, and see how we broke down through it. Now it looks like we're trying to back test it or have a little pullback onto this line, and we're going to see if we either have rejection off that and start to drop to the downside, or if we're going to get back inside of this trend line here and start working our way back up, because we've held these higher lows all the way since November 19th of 2018, guys. So this is a pretty big deal. I don't know if many people are covering it or paying close attention to it, but if we did just, fall down through this, we can't get back up into it. That could be another significant fall to the downside, and that may be what puts us down in this area right in here, which to me would still be a good thing. As long as we don't start getting below around that 4,200, guys, we're really trapped underneath this 200-day moving average. I'm still bullish. We're still in this intermediate term uptrend. Things are looking good. You're going to have these corrections, and that's what it's about. So we're just going to have to look at these key areas. All right, guys, next thing I wanted to point out to you, let me get this off there. I wanted to take a look at the MACD, see what some of our oscillators and indicators are looking like. All right. So here what we had this bearish cross. So guys, this white line, when it crossed over our signal line there, that red line, we started dropping to the downside. You can see how we just started falling. Looked like we were going to get a little hook here when we bounced off it, and now we're just falling and opening up, and you can see the histogram's actually been getting a little deeper as well. So keep your eye on that. We're going to have to see what happens. So MACD is definitely in bearish territory right now. So taking a look at that, and that's what I do. I like to add things up. I like to say, all right, you know, this is bullish or this is bearish, and back and forth, and then kind of devise a plan and say, all right, where are the odds going to be? How can I put the odds in my favor? That's what I like to look for, guys. It's all about odds and putting them in your favor in this game. And then when you lose or you miss one, you really want to cut it quick and get on to the next one. That's what I like to do as well. So, guys, also with this being pushed up here, you can see the volume has been decreasing as well. So that's another thing. Price going up. You always, when price is going up, you want that volume swelling, which we had a nice swell up into here, and then we kind of just tailed off and dropped down as we were getting a little overextended. So just really keeping a very close eye on this key area here. The next one I wanted to go to was the Stochastic RSI and see if we have any room to run on that. So on the stock, guys, we're more in that oversold territory there, and typically we've been getting a little bounce down in this area. And what I can do to show that to you is we'll put a horizontal line down here, or a support line around that area, and you can see each time we've been getting to this area, we've been getting a little bounce or moving sideways or something. So, you know, in terms of this, we're looking at, we're going, okay, the stock RSI, there's room to run to the upside. So we're getting those mixed signals, and that's where right now is kind of the time to be patient. Even if you're in cash, that's a good place to be right now, so you can see if we're going to make a strong move to this upside and really try to get up over top of this, you know, 56.75, or if we're going to finally drop down and retest this 50 moving average, which we haven't done for most of this uptrend that we've been in. We really haven't came back and back tested that 50 moving average or the 200, which is probably necessary, guys, for the health. All right, let me see. Let's do the Bollinger Bands, see what those are looking like. I like to give you a few different indicators, some of the ones that I use and study. So guys, we're below right now this middle band. You see this here? So this red band, guys, it's pretty faint, but you can see we tried to wick up to it and we got rejected, and now we're still underneath that. So this is us wedged here between this 30 EMA and this middle band right there. So we're just in a tight spot here. Could we go sideways for another day or two? Absolutely, but eventually there's going to be a break here again, and we're gonna have to see what happens with it. So, you know, and also with this 30 EMA, why I've been harping on it, guys, look back all through this bear market. Basically, there's times when we hopped through it, but for the most part, I mean, this has just acted as strong overhead resistance. You see here as we were falling, strong overhead resistance. Down through here, strong overhead resistance. And the fact that now we've finally been back up above it, look at this big drop. Overhead resistance for the longest time. We've finally been back up above it. You know, you really don't necessarily want to lose it. We would like to see this defended and have very strong volume come off that and try to make it up over top of these tweezer tops. That's what I'm looking for, at least. So, you know, guys, these are my thoughts on the market right now. Just remember, be patient with it. We're at 51.63 right now. These candles are getting very tight right there, especially on top of this 30 EMA. So right now it's kind of just waiting for the break, putting the odds in your favor and kind of saying, you know, we're in this neutral area. What do you think, guys? You know, and I want you to leave it down low. From the oscillators and indicators that I've shown you, do you feel as though we have a greater chance at moving to the downside, or do you feel as though we have a greater chance at moving to the upside? And also, one last thing before I forget, for those who are still here with me, here's our Fibonacci. We have dropped back below the 0.618. We broke out over top of it right here, guys. We had those tweezer tops. We fell back down below it, found support on the 30, and now we will have to go back up through the 0.618 at 52.53 before we can even go back up and test around this area. So the fact that we did fall back below that is significant as well. I wanted you to keep that on your radar. So we're bouncing in between this 0.5 and this 0.618. So that 48.41 and that 52.53. So keep your eye on that, and then I'll throw the Fibonacci the other way real quick. I'll let you all go. Alright, so just a rough one here. Guys, round in that area, so you can see we're still up above the 0.236. So we really haven't had, from this massive move here, we haven't had a big correction, guys, down into this area, which that would be a great spot, that 0.5 around that 43.93 or around that 4,500. So, you know, just pay attention, guys, wait, watch, and, you know, we can always have this little reaction where we come up into this area and then we fall back down again. So, you know, just in that tight spot, you want to have your alarm set. You know, I'll have my alarm set around this area, around that 52.88. Then I'll also put an alarm down here around that 49.40 is what I'll be looking into, guys. So have a wonderful day. Take care, my friends. Look forward to getting maybe one more video out today. We'll see. So God bless and take care.